Thanks a lot. Thank you. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. The meeting of the Council of Legislators is traditionally timed to coincide with the day of Russian Parliamentarism, which was celebrated yesterday, April 27. I congratulate you on this holiday. Patriotic ideals are important at all times, especially for us, for Russia, for a country civilization, one of the original sovereign centers of the vast multipolar world. The values of devoted service to people, to one's homeland determine the strength and stability of state power. They confirm the unity and cohesion of our people. They are a key, unshakable guarantee that together we will overcome any trials. We will consistently and firmly move only forward towards the planned high and to big goals. Dear colleagues, this year, the modern Russian parliament, both chambers of the Federal Assembly, is already 30 years old. They were elected on the same day as the adoption of the current constitution on December 12, 1993. Over these 3 decades, a huge, invaluable experience of state building has been accumulated. The foundations of the legislation of Russia as a democratic, legal, federal, social state have been formed in an open, competitive, and sometimes very tough struggle. Our multi-party system has also grown and strengthened. Leading political forces have proved their solidity and maturity. At the same time, the parliamentary status, the very right to be representatives of millions of Russian citizens, must, of course, be confirmed constantly, every day by hard, honest work. The main thing here is people's trust, their opinion, their proposals and their orders in the broadest sense of the word. It is important that both in the course of the elections and in your daily work, the most urgent, acute issues, problems that concern our citizens, the primary needs and tasks of developing the national economy, strengthening the security of our country are unconditional priorities. That is how it is today and how it should always be. In the parliamentary agenda of the past and this year, the most important central place was occupied by the issues of ensuring a special military operation, supporting the defense industry, social and legal protection of our heroes, military personnel, volunteers, those who were called up for mobilization. Legislative decisions were made promptly and with the active participation and support of all Duma factions, the Federation Council, and regional parliaments. I would like to thank you for this. Thank you for such a consolidated, joint work. However, not everything has been done yet. Of course, a whole range of new measures to support the participants in the special operation and their families has been proposed by the Parliamentary Working Group, and, of course, it needs to be worked out. Another priority is the legal support for the full integration of the 4 regions that became part of Russia on September 30, 2022. The Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, Zaporozhye and Kherson regions. It is important to carry out this work carefully and systematically so that people feel belonging to the common economic, educational and cultural space of our country, so that the entire system of labor and social guarantees, including high-quality medical care, works for them in full, so that jobs are created and, in general, conditions are created for dynamic economic growth. The speedy restoration of infrastructure and life support facilities. These are our historical lands and these are our native people. Many of you have been there. Well, how do they differ from the other part and from other parts of our people? By nothing. They are part of our people, and we must do everything to defend and protect their unequivocal choice to return to Russia. Dear colleagues, today, in the context of the economic aggression of the West, the parliament, the government, All regional and local authorities need to act clearly and quickly. Work as one close-knit and well-coordinated team. I already said in the message that our task is not to adapt, not to wait out a period of difficulties, challenges and external pressure, but to create a base, a foundation for the long-term, independent, successful development of our country, to strengthen its sovereignty in all components, in politics and in the economy, in science and technology, in education and culture, first of all, relying on internal resources, natural advantages, the most powerful creative potential of our multinational people. In this regard, the law-making search should be directed to the full support of domestic enterprises, research centers and labor collectives, new breakthrough projects in all industries and areas, to the general expansion of freedom of entrepreneurship, and the removal of barriers to business activity. As you can see, thank God, we are succeeding so far. It is enough to look at the results of our work for the past year. Look at all the macroeconomic indicators, thank God. And the real incomes of our citizens began to grow, modestly so far, but still, look at the forecasts of the same international organizations, forecasts for the growth of the Russian economy. Everything is more or less stable there. Even those who would not like to show these perspectives, they are forced to show it, and look at those who give us problems. They appear to be making their own. We need painstaking fine-tuning of the entire range of mechanisms and tools we have created to attract investment, to ensure balanced territorial development and financial stability in all regions of the country, from Sakhalin to Kaliningrad, from the Russian Arctic to the Crimea and Novorossiya, and of course, the primary concern of the parliament should always be to improve the quality of life and incomes of people, tangible, targeted support for our citizens, families with children, people who find themselves in a difficult life situation. In general, the growth and well-being of the people is our common primary task. New initiatives for the development of the social sphere and the economy, the sovereign system of education. I specifically used this phrase. A sovereign education system. This is the most important element of our joint work. This is the future of our country, and I can't help but agree with many of the faction leaders that I met not so long ago. Almost all colleagues talk about it, I fully agree with them. I have already spoken about this in the message of February 21st. I see that active work is underway to implement my message. And I ask you not to lose the pace and quality of working out the bills necessary for this. And there is one more thing I would like to say separately. I believe that now parliamentary diplomacy is gaining additional, enormous significance. Our partners, or, it can already be said, our former partners, in some countries are maniacally destroying the legal framework and channels of dialogue. They are trying to impose their views and their so-called rules on everyone. What are the rules? I have already spoken about this many times. Nobody saw them. Who wrote these rules? At home, somewhere under the covers. They write this, and they themselves do something with it under the covers. But we will not crawl under the covers to them. And we are not going to follow their rules either. However, despite all their attempts, the intensity of international contacts, including through our parliament, not only does not decrease, but even increases. This is a very good, correct, demonstrative trend. I repeat, Russia is not going to go into self-isolation. On the contrary, we will expand pragmatic, equal, mutually beneficial, exclusively partnership relations with friendly countries in Eurasia, Africa, and Latin America, in the same United States. By the way, we have many people who think the same way with us. In Europe too, elites behave differently, but we all know that the elites of these countries do not always pursue a policy aimed at the interests of their own peoples. They will get it back. We are ready to work with those foreign partners, with global companies, with corporations that value their business reputation and want to cooperate with Russia. I hope that your numerous meetings with foreign colleagues will continue to serve to strengthen interstate ties and mutual trust. In general, dear colleagues, I would like to wish you success in your complex, multifaceted, diverse and very important work, and, once again, I congratulate you on the day of Russian Parliamentarism, as well as on the upcoming May holidays, and, first of all, of course, on our sacred day, the day of the great victory, the victory over Nazism. Best wishes. Thanks a lot. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and write a comment. This will greatly help the development of this channel. Thank you.